I'm going to invite Deputy Superintendent Scott Jones up. Hey, we're running out of time. Instead of the really big, we've got some, you have like, I think, if I remember right, there's 3 or 4 things that we need to address. So we'll turn the time over to you.
Deputy Superintendent of Operations Scott Jones. Agenda item is the fiscal year 20. This is a perpetual fiscal year 20 budget proposals or budget formulation. This is a perpetual agenda item. We'll carry it all the way through the end of the legislative session, so I'll provide updates every month to you on progress. A couple of key takeaways for today. The governor's budget was proposed or went out around 10 a.m. this morning. So we'll correlate his proposal with your proposal. So next month I'll come back and give you the side-by-side comparison. Just a couple key takeaways off the top. The board proposed a 5.5% increase to the WPU. The governor's budget proposes 4%. On the chart that I give you that tracks your proposal, our estimate was an increase to the, or 1% value of the WPU would be about $33 million. It's coming in around $32 million after we, after the CDC process and all that. So a 1% increase is about $32 million. I'll go ahead and adjust that to reflect your 5.5%. So basically, 32 times 5.5. The other piece of quality information that is in your board backups is also the revenue estimates. If you could just take some time to review that so that when we come back together in January, go through this. If you have specific questions about how much specifically for the education fund is detailed in there, I can go into those particulars with you. As part of the other overall process, as you know, in accordance with the Budgetary Procedures Act, we typically make our proposal to the governor's office around the first part of October. However, there's still opportunity for you as a board to hear requests for funding. There's 3 additional requests that occurred or that were brought to the staff to put in front of you. You don't necessarily have to take any action today. The 3 are a request from the Board of Regents to support advisors. That was also put into the governor's budget proposal today. I direct you in the board backups or the board documents on what pages you can go right to for the report on public education. Also, we have a request for administrative funding for charter schools, and then the Beverly Taylor Sorensen business case is available for your review as well. We have individuals here that can speak to the administrative funding request for charter schools and also for Beverly Taylor Sorensen if you wish to do so today. What we need to know though as a staff is whether or not you want to just consider it and wait until January to make a decision on whether to make a motion to have us, the staff, further develop business cases for this so that you have all the details and elements of information that's required for you to track this all the way through the legislative process. I'll just conclude with that or open it up to questions or concerns through you, the chair.
Okay, we've got several. Board members, let's try to get them right, or let's not get them right. Let's try to be very specific and because of the interest of time. Board Member Lear?
I prefer to put this off till January.
Okay.
We'll have new board members. I don't think it's fair to impose this exact makeup of this board's priorities on a board that will look somewhat different.
Okay.
Oh, you really want to sit here and?
Board Member Stokes?
I didn't want to have that happen either before you came in. But we're still a board. I'm still elected. I'm still here. You can't kick me off until after the meeting's over. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at the state fiscal year 2020 budget proposal. This right here.
Yes, sir. That's the summary of your proposal. Yes,
right.
Sir.
So, do I see Beverly Taylor Sorensen on this list? Is it somewhere?
No, that is something that came after the deadline to make the proposal by way of the Budgetary Procedures Act by the law after October 7th. Those backups are the backup for Beverly Taylor Sorensen. The business case is also available to you for review in the backup.
Okay.
It's attached, right? Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, well, I know that, I'm just looking for so if we were to vote on this today,
Okay.
just because now that Carol doesn't want me to, I want to. And so if we took what you submitted by the statutory deadline, which was the list I showed you, right?
Yes, sir.
And we added in the other items here, so the Beverly Taylor Sorensen, you've got budget book final.
That is the governor's proposal for your review, sir.
Okay, that was actually released by the chamber yesterday before the governor released it, which I thought was very comical. And so, what would be the others? Are you bringing these over?
So the three are available to, yes.
This is the request for Beverly Taylor's.
Okay, I pulled that one up.
Okay, so there's a request for Beverly, that's new. And again, there's individuals available here to speak to that. The second one is the Board of Regents asked for support on the advisor program.
Okay.
There's a link in there that provides an article from the Deseret News that I thought was very effective at giving you background. And also to note, the governor did support that proposal of the Board of Regents. They're just looking because they feel it affects both higher ed and public ed. So if you want to take some time and research that, that's fine, or if you want to make that proposal. And then the third one is the the funding for administrative increases to charter schools. And there's 2 point papers in there that was provided to me.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion. Is that okay, Chair? I make a
Sure.
motion? I'd move that we approve the state fiscal year 2020 document, the Beverly Taylor Sorensen program, and the advisor program as priorities of the board, and you can fight over the charter schools next year, Carol.
Second.
The new proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have it. We're on, right? We have a motion and a second. Discussion to the motion. Board Member Wright?
Deputy Jones, pretend I'm just ignorant and help me understand why, like, the Board of Regents isn't reinventing the wheel. I mean, most high schools already have,
Well,
counselors there working with everyone. What is this? Are they saying the counselors are bad or they're better or we need to duplicate? I mean, help me understand why the Board of Regents apparently thinks so little or thinks this is better.
I'd have to defer to them to absolutely, in detail answer your question. I think what they're actually seeking is to see, from your perspective as an individual board member, but the board as a whole, to see whether or not the board, the USBE, looks at that as a program, given the background information that I provided to you.
I read it.
Yeah, and that, I don't feel like it's my place to answer for them on, whether it's an effective program or to the questions you ask. I'm not trying to punt but it's really, I think it's up to them. And what I would recommend is we invite them to the January meeting. I
Yeah.
understand your position because you're exiting, but
I
think
should tell them,
Superintendent-
no, my feelings are a little bit hurt. It seems like they're saying your current system is incompetent. We need to step in and save you because we know better. That's how I feel. But maybe
Superintendent
I'm
Dixon
wrong.
may have something to add to this.
I can answer that.
Superintendent
I
Dixon.
actually met with them when this proposal was first put together. So this is not to replace our high school counselors at all. In fact, it's a very different function. This is to basically pay a stipend for students who are current students at universities. And they would come on to campus as a recruiter, in essence, to get kids into college. But they would help them with things like college applications and helping them access FAFSA and answering questions about college campus and coursework. And so they're student ambassadors, basically. They're not to replace the counselors who are in schools. And this is based on a model that has been tried in other states that they found to be very successful. So they're anticipating that it would increase the number of students who are not only entering but completing college. So that's the proposal. It's not to take the place of counseling.
Okay, Board Member Lear?
I'm just wanting to clarify Spencer's motion. The BTS he's including in his motion, and then this program that Sid just described. Is that right?
And the state fiscal year, or the
And the increased WPU.
well, the one that's in the document.
Okay.
Okay, Scott?
Sir, just to clarify, that summary, that was, has already gone forward to the governor's office, but we could continue to push that forward into the legislature. I think that's what you're saying, right? Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, Board Member Lear?
Oh, I move the question.
Okay, we called the. okay,
Call
we
the
need-
question.
We're gonna vote
Move
on
it,
end
call it,
debate
whatever I have to do.
on this. Hey, we're not gonna get done if we're gonna talk around this, okay? We have a call to question to end debate. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No. Will the ayes raise their hand? We have Board Member Lear, Board Member Stokes, Board Member Reby, Vice Chair Brittany Cummins. Not enough to end debate, so we're back in. Okay, Board Member, motion failed. Board Member Belknap.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to divide these into three motions.
Okay, is there a second to divide? We have a second.
Well, there's three. He has the
Yeah,
budget.
there's three things.
He had
Well, I'm
the-
trying to
he
keep
had the
track. It started
Beverly
off
Taylor
three.
and higher ed. And the budget. We've already approved the budget? Okay, all right, but, okay.
There's-
Both of them.
There's two. Okay. Motion to divide. Not seeing any further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Will the ayes raise their hand to, this is to divide. Vice- Were you in favor to divide? Yes. Okay. And Board Member Cummins, Board Member Wright, Board Member Hanson, Board Member Belknap, Board Member Stokes, Board Member Reby. Is this unanimous? No. Board Member Bolter, Vice Chair Ellis, Vice Chair Brittany Cummins, Mark. So motion passed. So who opposed to divide? Kathleen? Okay, that was to divide. Okay. So it's, all right, so it's divided. So what were the two again? Because I didn't write it down. Yes.
There were three.
Okay.
Weren't there three?
You are now.
Okay. All right. This is the motion, as I understand. The motion is that the board approve adding the Beverly Taylor Sorensen program and the Regents Advisor program to its priorities list. But they were divided. Oh, that's right. So that was the motion. Now
And
that
then
would
what
be
was the Regents one called?
the Regents Advisor program, is that it?
Okay. So what's first up is to add the Beverly Taylor Sorensen. That's a motion on the table to the priority list. We're going to vote on it. Yeah, you're going to speak to the motion?
Just want to clarify, because I think we have this piece of paper here that says that the total request is 12,380,000 and an ongoing of 1.5 million additional. So, that's what we're voting on.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. This is put the Beverly Taylor Sorensen on our request. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Those opposed? Okay. Beverly Taylor Sorensen. I'm sorry. Okay. Those opposed? Voting was unanimous. Okay, the next is the Regent Advisor Program to be put on our list. Okay, I'm going to call that to a vote. All in favor?
Now, how much?
Oh. Board Member Belknap.
I wanted to be clear on the money. I think it was about 2 million. But also, I want you to know, I'm voting no on this, and I usually don't even state that outright. But higher ed has more money than we can even think about. They don't need our, how much millions?
$2,997,500.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Did you have something else to add?
No, not to that,
Okay.
not to that point, sir.
Superintendent Dixon?
Yeah, just a clarification, and I could be wrong on this, Deputy Jones, but I don't think that they were asking for it to come out of your request rather than for you to support their prioritization. It's actually in, I think it's in the governor's budget.
It is, that's the total that I just read off of Table 2. Let's see, page,
So it comes out of the
Yeah.
general education budget anyway, you know, higher ed does, as higher ed does. I think they're looking for the board to support.
yeah, the
their
program,
ask
I
and say we're
guess.
behind, yeah.
Is program okay to say?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
still the,
Right.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
But they're not solely asking for it to come out of K-12. They're saying it's our higher ed ask.
Out of the education
Out of the
fund.
education budget.
Fund.
It's semantics, but
Yeah.
just being clear.
okay. Board Member Cannon?
I just want to speak in favor of this. From what I've read about it, there is evidence showing that this really helps a lot of kids. And I'm personally not offended by them coming in and helping us counsel kids into college, counsel them. I know at my kids' high school, there are thousands of kids and 2 or 3 counselors, and there's just no way they can do that. My sister worked in St. Louis for a number of years, and they had counselors who did nothing but this. So I'm totally in favor, and I appreciate the idea. I think it will help our kids have a better chance in going to college.
Okay. Vice Chair Brittany Cummins?
And I'm going to speak in favor of this one because I think it's one of those moments where higher ed is using their request to benefit K-12. And so they've requested some of their budget money to reach across the line and say, here's something we can do to benefit K-12 students as we collaborate together to ensure that they're ready and that they have that bridge to cross as they attend college. So I think it's one of those requests that I think is beneficial to us and to them.
Board Member Spencer Stokes?
I just want to use the word pot. Is the same pot. It is the same pot of money, but our kids are in the same pot as well. So whether it's their pot of money or our pot of money, they're all still the same kids, and it's all benefiting them. So I know we like to fight over who has money and who doesn't, but remember, it's the same pot of kids.
Okay. Board Member Lear?
And I support this as well. I think it might take some burden off of our high school counselors.
Okay. Board Member Lisa Cummins?
I'm hesitant to vote yes on this. There are several programs, volunteers that college kids can help associate with freshmen and get them comfortable with the campus and encourage them to participate in clubs and things. And I'm sure that they could go to high schools and do the same thing on a volunteer basis. Our resources are short. And if we want kids to go to college, I think we need to look at still the remedial courses and see where we're going with that and how we can benefit the kids in the K-12 factor as they move up and over. I don't think this amount of money will help kids go to college because there's a trend showing kids are moving away from college because of the exorbitant expenses already. So I'm going to say no.
Okay, I'm not seeing any other comments. The motion before the board is to support the Region Advisor Program. Did I get that right?
Close enough, sir. Yes, sir. You're good.
Okay.
I
all
know.
right. It is getting a little bit late. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
No.
Will the ayes raise your hand? And
Carol.
so is that one? Terrell. Then Board Member Wright, Board Member Cannon, Board Member Lear, Board Member Stokes, Board Member Reby, Vice Chair Brittany Cummins, and Board Member Huntsman.
And Gravett.
Board Member Gravett.
That's 9.
What's that? That's 9. Okay, motion passes. Board Member Wright, do you have,
Did we already vote on Beverly Taylor Sorensen, or are we doing that now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we just do the charter school administrative funding now, too? Can I make the motion that we hear that single-handedly? We have the person who wants to do it. Let's give them 30 seconds and vote. How about that? That's my motion.
what's your motion?
Motion, we take 3 more minutes. We hear from the person. They have 60
No.
seconds to make
Well,
their case.
Make a motion to approve, and then it,
Oh, I make a motion, we approve the request for administrative funding for charter schools as per the attached supporting documentation for our proposed budget.
okay, we have a motion, do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. We're going into debate. Does anyone have any questions? Vice Chair Brittany Cummins?
I move that we table this conversation till next board meeting. Or postpone, I don't know what the proper motion is. I have a lot of questions about this particular one before I'm ready to vote, and I don't know that we have time for those questions.
The motion to postpone?
To postpone? Yeah,
So I need a second.
we do.
So I need a second? Is there a second? Spencer? Okay, we have a motion to postpone. We have a second. We don't debate. Do we? Okay, we're going to debate. Board Member Wright?
I will support your motion if you'll go give them 20 minutes in the next week to hear their case for it. All right.
Thanks. Okay, no further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
Voting was unanimous. Deputy
Sir,
Superintendent-
could I just get some guidance and check on my understanding? My understanding is that by way of the motion just made and the unanimous decision that they can come back next month and speak to that.
Correct.
Also, too, I just need your guidance on whether or not you want to continue this process. So there may be additional, requests that come. Did this work for you? Would you rather I wait and talk to you about it in executive committee, or I just want to make sure that you're always situationally aware of what's being put in front of it too. Right. I mean, I just want to know.
Well,
if
let me
you-
just
if
respond
you're
to
okay
that
with
on the
process. Yes,
executive
sir.
side, and we can
Okay.
open it up to the board. But
Right.
again, you got basically railroaded out of here on time and that, and in the past it was, we wanted to constantly have this quickly come before us.
Okay.
And it's been a good working process. Last year, we need to keep it alive.
Okay.
And keep the awareness there, but we accelerated it quickly
sir.
today.
Okay.
But Board Member Lear, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I think it's immensely helpful. I just think doing it at 5:45 when it's the most important thing we do is unfortunate.
All right.
Well, okay, our work's still not done, so.
No, we'll keep.
Okay, so that answers your question. We
Yes,
don't have
sir.
any other
Yeah,
business.
I just wanna make
And
sure.
we're going
I'm
to
tracking.
quickly